I will recognize myself for 5 minutes for questions. The global ocean shipping market is increasingly dominated by foreign state bad actors, bad carriers, particularly from China, which raises concerns about unfair competition and potential harm to U.S. mariners, shippers, and long-term supply chains operations. Does the Commission have enough resources to protect U.S. mariners and shippers from unfair practices by foreign state-sponsored carriers like those backed by the Chinese government?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do. One of the advantages of a small agency, I have found, is that we are able to pivot much more quickly than giant organizations. And we have reorganized our competition office to combine our economists with our attorneys working on competition. And I've long supported this approach, and it will make us much more effective. We've also refocused our enforcement regime to make sure that we are using those resources effectively. So thank you very much. I'm confident that we'll be effective.
Very good. The Ocean Shipping Reform Act 2022, OSHRA, expanded the FMC's authority to regulate detention and demurrage practices, investigate discriminatory behavior by carriers, and enhance protections for shippers. Where is the FMC on OSRA implementation? When do you expect full implementation of OSRA? How have shippers benefited since the OSRA's passage?
As I reported, we have completed the two of the most important regulations, and we're awaiting to see the final court action on those. But today, ocean carriers are complying with those regulations.
Very good.
And we get good reports about the operation of those. We still are working on the exchange registry and the small remainder of the discriminatory regulation that we'll complete. We're also going to complete the new charge complaint regulation to make sure the public understands the approach. And we're in good shape in compliance with all the reports in OSRA as well.
Very good. The FMC recently launched an investigation into whether foreign vessels' flagging laws, regulations, and practices create unfavorable conditions for U.S. trade. What prompted this investigation? What practices are you concerned about that could undermine fair maritime trade?
Thank you. These authorities that I outlined in my statement for the record are advantageous to U.S. flagships. And we believe that it could provide a good grounding for U.S. vessel registry to know that if there are problems, the United States will go to bat for you. And this is one of them. Flags of convenience are really open registries. Panama, Marshall Islands, Liberia, and they accept registrations from owners of vessels who are outside their residence. The United States is a closed registry, and many other major ones are closed registries. There has been a concern that the open registries, flags of convenience, are not as effective in enforcing regulations. And then in some ways, the enforcement has been pushed off onto port states like the United States. These fact findings, these investigations are very flexible. They can be stood up quickly. They do not have on their own authority to require violations or anything like that. But we'll get to the bottom of this, and then, of course, we'll inform the Coast Guard.
Thank you very much. I yield back.